After reviewing the professional dispositions of learners provided by Grand Canyon University and taking a self-assessment, I'm creating this video to share with you my findings. The first thing I'd like to do is give you the definition of a disposition as provided by GCU. Dispositions are the values, commitments, and professional ethics that influence behaviors toward students, families, colleagues, and the community that affect a student's learning and achievement, motivation and development, as well as an educator's professional growth. I feel all 10 dispositions are highly valuable to becoming an effective educator, and I try to display these every day in my classroom to my students. There are 7 that I'm very comfortable with. Those are dedication. I am called and passionate about being a teacher, and I'm dedicated to learning more so that I can lay a stronger foundation for my students and create in them a passion for learning. I'm compassionate towards my students. Not only do I love them in my classroom, I love them outside of the classroom. And I give of them my time when I can to see them in things outside of the classroom, such as a t-ball game or go to a birthday party. I'm also committed to being a professional. I come to class on time and prepared. I let them know what is expected of me. I show them these things in my speech and my actions. I also have extremely high expectations for my students, and I know that all of my students are capable of meeting these high expectations. I may have to change how I teach a child or how I assess a child to meet their needs, but expectations can be met, and all students can grow. It is very important to exhibit honesty to my students. I want them to understand that we all make mistakes, and not to get upset or think that you can't do something. So I'm honest with them. I admit to them when I make a mistake, and I show them that that is a value, a characteristic that is important in your life. I want them to see that and to know that. It is also very important to exhibit fairness in my classroom. Not only do I do this by the way that I evaluate my students or the way that I teach my students, but I teach this in the way that they treat each other. The golden rule is very important. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. If they don't like something and they're quick to run to Miss Rogers and tattletale what somebody did, I want them to understand why, what's going on, what's the motivation behind that, and if we don't like it, what can we do to change it? How would it make you feel? Being that I have built relationships outside of the classroom, I'm able to talk to my students in a way that I can bring these things up. It is also very important to advocate for my students, whether inside of my classroom or to the administration of my school and outside of school. My students are important to me, and I want them to know that. How they grow and how they see their value is important to me. So I will advocate for whatever they need to help them succeed and learn in my classroom. A couple of the things that I feel I can work on, I exhibit these, but I need to work on them to become sharper. One would be diversity. And I'm not talking about diversity in race or in sex. I'm talking about diversity in not tolerating or minimizing a behavior that's unacceptable. I need to work on that. So many times we will just ignore that and move on, kind of sweep it under the rug. I need to pay more attention to that. I also need to encourage my students with their curiosity. All of my kindergartners are very curious. However, I need to encourage them to take it a step further, to step outside the box, to test something that they feel may be useful. So I need to encourage that a little more. Also, reflection. I need to take into account, set aside a time every day to review that day and see what needs to be improved. Not just put it off. I reflect very often, but when you do it at the end of the day, it makes it easier to see where you could have changed, to make notes, what would have been more effective in helping my children grasp a concept a little more. So those are the things I need to work on. I would like to leave you with one final thought, and this is on what a professional teacher looks like. I get this from the Bible. It comes from Titus chapter 2, verses 7 and 8. It says, "Show yourself in all respects to be an example of good works, and in your teaching show integrity, dignity, and sound speech, so that your message is to be beyond reproach, so that the opponent will be ashamed, having nothing bad to say about it." That is what a professional teacher is. They have good works. They show it in their teaching, in their integrity, and in their speech. This way, they are above reproach, and nothing bad can be said about them. I strive for this every day in my classroom. Thanks.